Hey, everybody, what's going on?
Yep.
It's Monday. Here we are again.
Yep. Another haunting edition.
More ghost stories. Murder Hornet
Got the flashing lights back there because I fucked up the lights last time and never fixed it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that shit run.
It was making the camera blur earlier.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I'm sitting there going, why is the camera blurry? That little... Murder Hornet posted the little avatar review. It says Little Tom says hello.
Okay. All right.
I can't remember what I made Little Tom say. What does he say?
I don't know.
I can't remember what I was.
You made that little avatar?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something that you say all the... It looks just like you, I have to say.
Yeah. Every bald motherfucker with a wife beater looks like me and a mustache.
Well, no, I mean that. Well, yeah.
I'm becoming a stereotype.
You can be like another one.
I'm
of
a
those
stereotype.
Bald motherfuckers.
Yeah, bald motherfucker with them. Yeah, with the beard.
Okay, well,
yeah.
That was your decision. So
shit happens.
No, I mean, you look good like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's weird because I never knew you with facial hair for like a really long time. And I was sitting there going, I don't know how that's going to work out, but actually it did work out.
It's my descent into evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your descent. You don't have that far to descend.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, to be honest.
Maybe I ascended.
Is it slightly less evil?
Yeah.
Maybe. That could be.
All right, so today was actually a pretty good episode. I've watched this thing twice, tried to do a fucking deeper analysis of it, and it's a real good episode. The witnesses fucking describe some pretty creepy phenomenon that kind of rings true to me after fucking Mammoth Mountain, which Jenny wrote a book about what happened to me and my family when I was a kid. And it's just like, especially the piano thing, boy, nothing like that happened to me, but that's like something a poltergeist would do.
There was some creepy shit in this one. I'm surprised I didn't remember this one better.
Right. It's weird shit happens in it. And then a little boy is seeing Gabel. He called him Gabo. Gabel, yeah. Like Gaybo, Gabo. That's what he called him.
Although I think on the Wikipedia page they spelled it Gabel.
Yeah,
Gable.
Okay. Yeah,
that's what he was saying.
Yeah. And it was some man he was seeing, talking to. But nobody else could see him. It was his fucking imaginary friend, but he insisted he could see this dude. And then weird phenomenon happened.
We liked how the little boy that was playing the kid. He looked slightly older than the real kid because I think the real kid was supposed to be 3, and that kid was 4 or 5, I think. But he had like a really funny, like a really cute, like little kid voice, and like just the way he said everything. I was just like, it made me laugh every time he said something.
Yeah.
He's white heel.
White heel. He white heel. Yeah. Jenny says, I bet you Pookie talks that way if she could talk. Yeah.
I said, that's what I imagine Pookie's voice sounding like if she could talk like a person.
Pookie's
he's white heel.
Pookie's not a little kid anymore. Pookie'd be a teenager. Actually, late teens, probably.
Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah.
She's always going to be a little baby.
Yeah, okay.
She's always like a little brat.
Yeah.
Running around. Running in the closet.
Yeah. Interactive kitty.
Yeah,
always underfoot.
She is, yeah. She was in here a second ago.
Yeah.
Tearing the rug up, looking at the lights going, what the fuck is up with this?
Yeah, she gets mad.
Yeah. She got mad and left because we weren't talking to her.
She's mad because I won't let her tear up boots. Go in the closet.
Yeah.
She wants to be shut in the closet.
Yeah.
She knows that the closet, she thinks she can open the closet from the inside.
Tom thinks this was actually very insightful. And he said, well, maybe she thinks that she can get out because she can get in and out of the bathroom cabinets.
Yeah.
Like easily, like she can open them with her little paw and she can get back out because she can just push them.
Yeah.
So I think that she thinks that she can get out of the closet too.
Yeah, because it's those shutter doors though. You can't push them.
But you can't push them out. She wouldn't be strong enough to push them out.
Yeah.
But maybe she does think that because she's like, well, I can get out of the cabinet, like, and she likes being shut up in the cabinet.
Yeah.
But she can get out. But I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Zach says, "Hey bitches, what's up? I'm frustrated as shit today." Okay. And then Murder Hornet said Zach's on the warpath.
Yeah.
What are you frustrated about, Zach?
Gaestrogen level's too low.
His gaestrogen level?
It's too low, yeah.
Is that what?
Maybe it's real high. It's probably really high. It's what it is. It's probably super high. Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
What's your gaestrogen level today?
My gaestrogen level is non-existent right now. I don't even have estrogen at all. Just pure testosterone and progesterone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't reach climax. I just go forever. I just fuck until I get pissed off and then just jump off. Like, fuck it, I'm done with this shit. Done with this shit.
2 hours later.
2 hours later. Yeah. Jenny knows.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of like...
Yeah.
You don't get that mad about it.
It's not that I get that mad.
You don't get that mad about
No.
it. I mean, you still have a good time.
Yeah. There's just not enough estrogen in your system to do the whole floaty thing and like fucking and then let it go. There's none of that. It's just focus. Focus. I just start thinking about mathematics. Masculine as fuck. Just math and machines. Machines, yeah.
Math and machines.
Yeah, and they're watching me. Everybody's watching me.
The machines are watching you?
Just everything's watching me. Yeah.
That's probably not good.
No. No. The paranoia of being a male.
Yeah. Well.
Hypermasculinity.
That's not good.
It's not as bad as trend though.
Don't be like lashing out.
No. It's
Or
all right.
shit like that.
It's okay. I'm on 500 megs a test, if that's part of it. Yeah. And then I'm going on MPP. A couple days.
Yeah.
It's going to be good, though. I love MPP.
Yeah, Murder Hornet said lay off trend.
Yeah. No, I'm off trend.
Please.
I'm not going back on trend. I told y'all my gay porn star buddy fucking came at me and he's like, dude, I got a shit ton of trend, man. Enough to last both of us for years. I said, what? He said, yeah, I got somebody else's shipment. And I said, did you get the MPP? He goes, no, but I got a fucking year's worth of I got several years worth of trend. And I said, oh, no, I ain't doing fucking
And
trend.
he says, Jenny says no.
Says, yeah,
you
no,
can't,
I ain't
you
doing it.
can't.
He's like, oh, come on, man. Come on, man. He wants to go gay werewolf and shit. Go beat up twinks and shit. We'll go fight the whole bar, man. We'll get some twinks and make porn. No, dude. No, dude. Because...
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, he's got to take trend to get gay.
Sounds
Yeah, he's
like
not
a
gay
plan.
without trend. Takes a bunch of trend and all of a sudden he...
That almost sounds like a country song.
Yeah.
I'm not gay without trend.
Not gay without trend. Got to take a whole bunch of trend to get gay enough to make the porn. He's crazy.
Gotta get gay enough
Oh,
to make
muscle
the porn.
man. Yeah.
Time to make the porn.
Yeah.
Like time to make the
Makes him
donuts.
hate weakness. He becomes more... Because this is bondage porn. Not normal porn. Beating dudes up and shit.
Zach says, "Isn't Tom gonna have to get his tubes tied when you guys go all the way in
Yeah,
on your new venture?"
How am I going to get tubes tied?
You're
Man,
gonna
don't
get
have tubes
tubes
tied.
tied.
Calling me a bitch? Okay. Oh.
That was pretty funny.
Look, man, I'm here doing a fucking serious fucking parapsychological analysis of this fucking case. And you guys are fucking... Yeah. You guys
Yeah.
talking all this gay bullshit.
You brought it up, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you think I don't remember, but I'm like, dude, it was like 2 minutes ago.
That's your job. That's your job. I got to try to flip it around.
I remember you brought it
This
up.
is fucking show business. This is show business, man. Like I said, I missed my calling as a fucking comic. That's what I do.
You did.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of hatred and anger to be a good comic. See,
That's why a lot of them are like really depressed
Nuts, yeah.
people and nuts, and stuff, which is sad. Well, like I said, it's it's a defense mechanism, being funny. Not always, but
you're diffusing inner conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tammy said that'll be the day the show is serious, right?
Yeah.
It's like I can't be serious. I mean, I can.
No, there've been many times we do serious shit in here.
I
We're talking about
can,
serial killers and stuff.
but-
Some of the shit's a downer.
Yeah.
Yeah, without us fucking around and making jokes, this shit would be depressing as fuck.
Yeah, I do
But-
kind of feel like some people. I mean, I don't really get that much. I don't really get any complaints that much anymore. But every now and then, like, you get a comment. It's like, oh, you guys are making jokes on this show about murders or whatever, and it's like really disrespectful. And like, I get that some people think that, but we're not making fun of murders. We're not like making fun of the victims or something like that. It's just like sometimes you just got to make jokes about shit because it's like so horrible and like so depressing. You know what I mean? You gotta fucking laugh so you don't cry. You know what I'm saying?
Man's inhumanity to man.
Right.
Yeah.
Zach said it's also why so many comics make the best dramatic actors. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's why. Because a lot of them have a lot of inner turmoil. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about some ghosties. How about it?
Okay, yeah.
So at least we can be funny on this one without feeling too bad.
Right. Nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt on this
Yeah.
one. But yeah, so this episode, in case you didn't know, is from season 5. We're still working our way through season 5. This is episode 7, and it's called Back from the Grave. Not to be confused with Echoes from the Grave, which is a totally different one than we already did.
Or shadows from the grave, or hands from the grave, or
Graves from the Grave.
eyes from the grave.
Dicks from the grave.
Mouth from the grave. It's real porn shit. Yeah. Coo-cha-cha from the grave.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's all from the grave.
Yeah.
We're all going, well, how about, but, you know, they should have had someone going to the grave, too.
Yeah.
From the grave to the grave.
Yeah, yeah.
Back from the grave.
Brothel of the grave.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what fucking Ed Gein was all about.
Yeah, that's all the people that are like.
He just saw the cemetery as a brothel. Yeah.
Sebastian says, and we're not making fun of porn either. Murder Hornet said, I'd like to go clubbing with Tom and we get in a bar fight. Yeah, you probably would. You probably would get in a bar fight. Depending on the night.
He's like, dude, we get a trend out, man. We'll fight the whole fucking bar, man. We'll drive them all out until the cops come. And I'm going, yeah. I was on trend
What
too.
a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. And then I started going, wait a minute. Hold on.
This is why dudes don't
This
live
is
as
how
long
dudes
as women.
get shot. And he's like, yeah.
And arrested.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Because, yeah.
You know.
It fucking... Go fucking just look up trend stories.
I swear to God, man. If
Trend
you if you
stories.
pulled that shit on me, I would just you would call me and be like, hey, I'm in jail,
Yeah.
like help me out and stuff. I'd be
Yeah.
like, bye, click.
Yeah.
You sort that shit
There's all
out.
kinds of shit on YouTube.
I
Just
told
fucking
you.
search for trend stories, and fucking dudes do all kinds of fucking weird shit on it. And no, at the time it seems like a good idea, but
A lot of things seem like a
Yeah.
good idea at the
Feels
time.
real good.
But then later you're like, why the fuck did I do that? That was stupid as hell.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not for human consumption, but dudes are taking it anyway. It's for cattle, you know. But
So you're like a werecow.
yeah,
A werecow.
no, like a minotaur.
I prefer werecow.
A minotaur. I felt like a werewolf. I saw myself as a werewolf.
You would.
Yeah, but looking back on it, I wasn't a werewolf. I was the goblin from fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not as fun as that sounds.
Yeah, no. And
Murder
fucking-
Hornet said, Jen be like, you hear that? Tom's like, hear what? Then dial tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it would be like.
And it's no joke. You can just run through. If dudes aren't working out, and especially if they're not on gear, you just run through them like children. They're like cardboard cutouts of men. You just whip two dudes' asses. They were 6-footers. Just whipped two of their asses back to back in the nightclub on the same night, one after the other. Well, the first one didn't whip his ass, just grabbed him by the throat, and just crushed him, and then he ran off with his friends. He didn't want to fight. The other one I fought. Just beat him like a fucking rag doll. And kind of justified. One of them grabbed Jen's ass. I fucking went right on him. Bow. And then the other one was just harassing Jen and Soph. And you just get real fucking defensive. You know, you're like, protect the women. And you just wade right in. There's no decision being made. Just trend makes that decision for you. You just do it. It's bull testosterone turned into a fucking steroid. And after about fucking 3 months of that shit, I'd been doing it for about 5 months straight. You're fucking not sane. Not sane, no. Your hormonal fucking levels are fucking just outside the human fucking range. It's it feels great. You feel like Superman, but you're not. You're the Goblin.
And everyone else around you
Yeah.
is like, bro.
Everyone's terrified of you. Because you
knock
say
that
crazy
off.
shit, you think crazy shit. You go, you know what? I think I'm going to cut that dude's head off. Hold my beer. You know, you're literally like that.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, like, if you try to, like, talk him down, he just, like, thinks you're crazy.
He's like, what are you picking on me for? You crazy?
Yeah.
We got to cut this motherfucker's head off. You can't let him just run around. I mean, you're evil.
With a head?
Yeah, you're evil. You're really evil. You
Look at
kinda
him running around with a head.
You kind of stop, but, you know, your instincts are telling you to do things that are fucking psychopathic. And it's just fucking notorious for it.
I mean, if you ever went on that again, I would have to
Yeah,
get, like,
no, I
some
know.
tranquilizer darts, so, like,
Yeah.
I could just go, like, from across the club and, like, put you down. Like a tiger on the,
Yeah.
like a lion on the Serengeti.
You're not supposed to be taking it longer than fucking 8, 9 weeks, 10 weeks maybe. But I took it and I was like, oh no, this is fine. No, I can handle this. I just kept taking more and more. 5 months later, I'm still on it.
Yep, that was a
Fucking
poor decision.
A lunatic.
That
yeah.
was a poor decision.
And you think you're totally fine.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was the scariest part.
Yeah.
Is like you couldn't be talked to or reasoned with.
You think you're fine.
Like everyone was telling you like you were acting like a fucking
Yeah.
loon, but like you didn't believe them. So yeah. Zach said, also, I'm frustrated because I want to make a career shift in doing local filmmaking jobs, but I have no idea how or where to start. I mean, I kind of feel like probably the best thing to do is if you know anybody that's into that, or if there's any kind of like group or anything like that that does anything related to that, like maybe join that so you could like get some, you know, like know some people that are into it, like that can help you out, because I kind of feel like networking is like more important than anything, you know? Probably more important than even like knowing your shit is like knowing the right people. That makes like a big difference. Just saying. I don't really want to acknowledge that so much because I don't like meeting people that I don't like having to hang out with people. But it's true. Like who you know is a lot more important than what you know in a lot of situations. So yeah, where we got distracted again, like talking about the title of this.
Yeah.
So. We're in for a long night.
Right. It's okay. We got a decent crowd. We can start.
Yeah. Okay, so Back from the Grave, like I said. Season 5, Episode 7. So this one took place in North Carolina, in Winston-Salem, actually. So at the beginning, did they say, like, the cemetery that it was at? Did they call it Lincoln Cemetery?
Yeah, maybe, something like that.
I wasn't
a lot of
sure.
times details like locations fucking go right over...
Well, I usually try to write it down. Like, I usually try to write down, like, locations and names.
North Carolina.
Yeah. It was Winston-Salem. I got that. And I got their names. Like, the woman's name was Jamie Bruce, and her boyfriend's name was Aaron. And they lived in the Jackson Acres neighborhood. Like, they bought a house there. So this was, like, they'd been together a long time, but this was, like, the first house that they had ever bought. So this took place in fall of 2008. So the two of them have 2 kids. Lacey, who was 1, so she was like a baby. And then they had a boy that was named Mason, who was 3. I have a nephew named Mason, actually. So they said the best thing about this neighborhood was that there was like a lot of local parks. So they used to always like take the kids out for walks in the parks and everything like that. So their favorite park, which was just a few houses down from their house, was attached to a graveyard. Now they said that sounds kind of weird, but it was they said it was a family-owned graveyard. It was like really nicely kept up, and it was like a really nice park next to it. So they would like go for walks and take the kids and everything like that. So they said, but they started to notice that when they were taking the kids for walks through this graveyard, that Mason, the 3-year-old, kept looking like he was seeing something or like talking to somebody, or that there was somebody there, you know what I mean? Like he'd be stopped and be staring over like a tree, like there's somebody over there. And his mom said that he was like seemed like really uncomfortable, you know, because like she asked him just like, hey bud, what are you looking at, are you okay or something? He's like, I want to go home, you know what I mean? So he was like freaking out. So they showed, this kind of is jumping ahead a little bit, but they showed like a what looked like a Civil War soldier, like kind of popping out from behind the trees. They're implying that was what the little kid was seeing, but obviously we don't know if he saw that or not. He wasn't on the show, was he? Just the mom and dad were.
Yeah.
And the mom and dad were, and I think like a friend of theirs that also like saw some of the shit was on there too, and the paranormal investigators were on there, but none the kids weren't on there. So much like a lot of the families, this is very, very common with families on this show, is that the husband, like the mom, is a stay-at-home mom, and the dad works nights. So he works like at a trucking company, and they said sometimes he worked until like dawn, until like sunrise. So one particular night, the mom and the kids are home all by themselves, and the baby starts crying, and then I guess like the lights are kind of flickering and all that kind of stuff. And then so the mom goes in to like check on the kids. I think they're both in the same room. And Mason says that a man came out of the mirror, like in their bedroom. And of course, the mom doesn't believe this, but the kid is like super insistent. And she's like, well, where's the man now? You know what I mean? And she's like, well, he was just here. He just came out of the mirror. You know what I mean? So obviously you wouldn't believe that if like a 3-year-old kid told you that. You're like, okay, kid, whatever. He's imagining
you would think they imagined it, yeah.
Yeah, or he dreamed it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like a few hours later, because she said that the little kid wouldn't go to sleep until his dad came home. So it was like his dad didn't come home until like a few hours later. So as soon as the dad comes home, she told Aaron, the dad, like about the kid's dream, quote unquote, even though I'm pretty sure the kid said that he saw it, like, and he was awake. But, you know, like I said, they didn't really think anything about it. They just thought, oh, he's having nightmares or stuff. Even though they said the kid didn't usually have nightmares and this was, like, very unusual for him. So they did think it was a little weird, but, you know, they didn't
I had some wild-ass dreams when I was a little kid that fucking I thought were
too.
real. Yeah.
Like if Pookie's messing with Spock because Spock's going like that.
Yeah, stop molesting Spock. He's not
funny.
that sexy.
What? Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Pookie knows.
All right.
Yeah, you said you had some wild-ass dreams when you were a kid.
I had one when I was a little kid where I dreamt that I was in bed and woke up inside my dark room at night, all right? And I saw a woman walking towards me. It was Endora from fucking Bewitched, you know, Samantha's mom.
Hubba hubba.
Yeah. Why hubba hubba?
I don't know.
And she's walking towards me in this fucking green and blue witch's gown that she had.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Behind her was like a light and smoke and shit. It was real like something out of a movie. And she's walking towards me. And she had something in her hand. She's holding it like this. And as she's coming closer, I realize it's a bottle. It looks like a damn... just like a bottle of...
Like a genie bottle or
No,
like a poison
like a,
bottle or...
Like a bottle of fucking brandy or something.
Oh, okay.
It was all pretty. And she's showing it to me like that. And I'm leaning forward to see what it is she's trying to show me. And it was red and it swirled. And it looked like glitter and stuff in there. And it all started to swirl around inside the bottle. And it condensed into a skull and crossbones. And it fucking scared the shit out of me. Because I thought she was trying to poison me. And I woke up and I was in bed. But I already thought I was awake in bed.
Yeah.
I thought she walked into my room.
Yeah, I've had dreams like
yeah, Endora tried to poison me. From Bewitched.
That's kind of cool, though, like the way you described it. That actually sounds kind of awesome.
Looked like something out of the damn haunted house, the haunted mansion from Disneyland, because I was in California at the time as a little kid, and it's probably, it looked like that, kind of like, you know, the woman's head inside the globe in the seance. It was kind of like that. That was kind of like
a shirt from
it was kind of the ambience of the scene.
That's pretty awesome.
But of all people, it was Endora.
Well, I guess you associate because she's a witch.
She was a witch,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, an old witch.
So, like I said, they probably just thought this was a dream of, like, you know, the kid like a guy coming out of the mirror. Next morning, though, Jamie, she's, like, in the kitchen, like, she hears some stuff. Like, she's walking out of the kitchen, and then she hears some stuff in the back, back in the kitchen, like, somebody's in there, you know what I mean? Like, somebody moving around or something. And so, like, she turns around and goes back in there, and all the cabinet doors are open. I don't know why, like, ghosts always do this kind of shit, or, like, poltergeists always do this. So, like, let's open all the cabinet doors.
Yeah.
But that's very, very common.
Mine didn't do that.
No, I'm just saying you see that a lot.
But you see it a lot, yeah, Tom.
You see it a lot. All, like, cabinet doors open. And, like, all of them being open, like, suddenly.
Yeah.
So, she's like, well, the first thing I thought was maybe I did that. She's like, even though, you know, she knew damn well she didn't do that, but, you know, she was just trying to, like, dismiss it, you know what I mean? And then, later on, she said she's given Mason a bath, and she left him for a second, like, to go out in the hall, like, and get a towel from the hall closet, and the door to the bathroom, like, closes by itself, and then she hears Mason talking to somebody, like, real seriously. She said she couldn't make out what he was saying, but he was definitely having a discussion with someone. I don't think she said she could hear the other end of the conversation, but she could hear him talking, and he sounded like he was very seriously talking to somebody. So she comes back in, and she's like, well, who are you talking to? And he says he's talking to Gabel.
Yeah, Gabel.
Gabel.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, is that, like, your invisible friend? It's like, no, he's real. And then she's like, he was right here, but then he left. That's what he said. So then she's like, well, where'd you hear that name from? And he says, well, Gabel told me that was his name. And, you know, and she's like, oh, well, okay, well, he's not real, though. And then Mason goes, I thought this was funny, because, like, or the kid playing Mason, he goes, he's so real.
Yeah.
Like that. And it's like, I just died laughing. I'm like, oh my God, that kid's hilarious. Yeah. He's so real.
Real as fuck.
I mean, you know. So they go out to the living room. So Jamie is, like, telling Aaron, she's like, this is, like, some weird shit right here. She's like, this kid, like, is insisting that there's a man that he's, like, talking to a man. So they both start talking to him. So they're like, okay, well, who's this Gabel person? And they're like, well, where is he right now? Like, now they're out in the living room. And then this was like creepy. I thought they did a good job like on the scene, because they're like, well, where is he right now? And the kid points like he's back in the bedroom. You know what I mean? Just like the way he did it. I was like, ooh, that would be creepy if your fucking kid did that. He's just right back there, like, and points. So his dad says, well, why don't you go get him? I want to talk to him. And then, so Mason goes, he toddles back into the bedroom and then comes back out. And obviously he's by himself. But they're like, well, I thought you were going to go get Gabel. Where is he? And he's like, he's White Heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's White Heel.
Yeah. He says White Heel.
And I was like, would you shit your fucking pants if like your 3-year-old kid was like, it's right here. He's right here. Like, you can't see him, obviously.
I heard
he's right here. He sees you, he said.
Yeah, he sees you.
He sees you.
Yeah. Little kids have an imagination, though. There's no telling them.
They do. That's what I mean. That's why you can't take any... I mean, little kids say creepy shit all the time. Yeah. All the time. And you never really know. Because I know that a lot of people think it's like, oh, the kid's seeing ghosts and shit like that because of all this creepy shit they're saying. But... I don't know. Like you said, like, kids have a lot of imagination, so...
More than you'd think.
It's really hard to tell, like, if they're just making stuff up.
Animals have imaginations. I just saw a clip of a monkey picking up a leaf and pretending like he's working on another monkey's eye, and put that leaf down and grab another leaf and put it... And the other monkey's like going, yeah, fix it. Fixing his eye with a tool.
Yeah.
And he didn't put the leaf inside the other monkey's eye. They were monkeys. They were baboons.
Was he just pretending?
Just pretending.
He was pretending to fix it.
Pretending to fix it with two different leaves. a green one and a brown one.
That's so funny.
And only imagination. And then the other baboon is like, yeah, he's fixing it. Fucking right. He's even using tools.
Yeah. Look at him go.
Look at that sucker go. Yeah, it's all better now. It's all better. And probably nothing wrong with his eye. Just
probably
pretending.
Not. Well, Pookie pretends.
Yeah.
She imagines stuff.
Now, somebody's taking a picture of it with a phone, so these baboons evidently are around people a lot. So maybe they were inspired by seeing human beings use little tools.
Yeah, so they're just, reach
down, grab a leaf, and pretend to rub his eye, and rub his eye, and then grab another leaf and making just shapes over the eye.
Yeah, because they're good at, mimicking other behavior.
Yeah.
Like people's behavior and other apes' behavior. But yeah, so the kid is basically like, he's standing right here right now, and he sees you. Which, like I said, holy shit, I would probably, like, pee my pants if somebody said that. So, Jamie said she actually had a good idea. She's like, so she wanted to know if the kid was just making this up or if there was really somebody there. So she asked Mason, she's like, why don't you ask Gabel what 5 + 6 is? Because she knew damn well that the kid couldn't do math, right? Hey, thank you very much,
all kinds of
John
money.
Robertson.
Hey
guys, love the show. A cool video idea would be the life of Vincent Price. I noticed he's one of the only old school horror actors you haven't covered yet that I know of. Yeah, we probably should do... No, we didn't do Vincent Price, did we? We did Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, like, on one show. But I'm pretty sure we didn't do Vincent Price. And I do kind of want to do a show about him,
It's the first time I remember that name. It must be a long-time listener, first-time super chat giver. I don't remember that name. Do you remember that name? John Robertson.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. I do kind of.
Okay, it must have been a while back.
So I'm going to write that down because I'm going to put that in the poll for next week. Because I think we were talking about it when we were talking about doing the Bela Lugosi and and the and Boris Karloff show.
Jen would love to do that. She loves Vincent Price.
I mean, I love
she can dig up everything about that dude.
And he's like really interesting. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I love that him and his wife did a cookbook later on because he was like real into gourmet cooking and stuff. I just think that's adorable. But yeah. So the mom asked Mason, ask Gabel what 5 + 6 is, because she knew this. I mean, the kid's 3. He couldn't do any fucking math, right? Like, so thank you, Murder Hornet. Just following the flashbulb trade.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, keep it going.
Yeah, keep that flashbulb.
So she said then the kid actually kind of consulted with the invisible who's this that was like standing next to him. And then he goes over to the bookshelf and pulls out, they had like a, like World Book Encyclopedia or whatever the fuck. And he pulls out volume 11 and hands it to his mom. And they were like, what? They're like, holy shit, there really is a ghost in our house. This is like fucking freaky. So they have this friend, a neighbor, I guess, who hangs out there all the time. His name is Pam. And I guess they interviewed her on the show too, because she was talking about how weird this fucking kid was acting. And it's like, she was starting to think that like the shit was haunted too. So, you know, she's like, this kid really did believe that Gabel was real. He was like super intense and serious about it. You couldn't like joke about it or anything like that. He was like, no, he's real. So, Jamie, you know, like in kind of a last ditch attempt, she's like, okay, maybe the kid heard the name someplace else. So she goes to the kid's school and he was in preschool, and goes to talk to the teacher and asks her, you know, is there anybody in this class with that name? Or, you know, was it a story about that person or something like that? But the teacher didn't know what she was talking about. Yeah. So she's like, yeah, so she didn't hear it. He didn't hear it there. So
if the story's true, maybe the kid was seeing Gabel.
Gabel.
Yeah.
He's white heel.
Yeah.
White heel. Yeah. But yeah, that's how the kid talked. It's just like, it made me laugh like every time the kid talked, because I'm like, he had that funny little baby voice. So wait a minute. John Robertson, yeah, it's been a while. Life's been rough, and I love Vincent Price too, Jen. Tom, love that facial hair going on. Yeah, I guess it has been a while, because you grew that a while back.
Yeah, it's a while back. Spock inspired me. Mirror Spock.
Yeah.
Right. I'm Mirror Tom.
He's Mirror Tom.
I'm Mirror Tom. After Trent, I'm Mirror now.
Yeah, you're like the Through the Mirror Darkly version.
Into a Mirror Darkly 1 and 2.
Yikes. So you're much better now.
Yeah, it took me a couple months to get back to normal.
I mean, but it did. Yeah, it did. But you still have your moments, but you
learn bad habits.
You're a lot better than you were. Because like before, I was just like, I don't even know how to deal with this situation. This is fucking freaking me out.
That was pretty when you did your hair like that. We have to give you some braids.
I was thinking about that. I should. Well, now that I've shaved it back underneath, so but I can still braid the top probably. Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't shave it, but it's shaved.
I need to touch that up for you.
Yeah. I know, it's like, it's like I wanted it shaved off, and now I'm too lazy to, like, fucking...
Yeah, you never remind me. It only takes me, like, 5 minutes to shave that.
So, like, then it grows out. Yeah. And then it starts getting gray, so then I have to, like, dye it and shit like that. It's like a whole ordeal. But it's a lot cooler in the summer, though.
Yeah. Because you gotta do the fucking braids from the girl from Polly from NCIS. Remember that? She had the little braids?
Yeah.
In the bags?
Yeah. I do like my hair braided.
Yeah, they fucking do all your hair in little braids, like almost little fucking
little dreads.
Almost like little dreads.
I have to pay somebody to do that.
We'd have to subcontract.
I can braid my own hair, but not that many little braids.
Yeah, we're talking little fine braids.
Yeah, that would.
And then to maintain that, it would probably cost quite a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because it had to be fucking redone all the time. So probably what? I don't know. Any of you braid sisters can give us a price in the bottom. How much would it cost to keep that up? I bet you it's like couple $100 every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Probably expensive.
Dude, having your hair did is not cheap.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, for guys, I think it's cheaper, but like for women, no way. Like, especially if we're getting like colors and cuts and stuff like that, it's like easily $100. Yeah. Like, at least.
Well, it's long enough to braid.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Make your wigs a lot easier to use. Braided, be cooler.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. We got to get back to the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, you keep getting all distracted.
Sidetrack's fucking Friday.
Yeah, Sidetracks is Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, every show is Sidetracks, really.
Yeah.
I mean, not going to lie. But, sorry about that. Well, some people like it, though. I mean, I guess the people that didn't like it have fucked off, so I guess I guess we're fine. But yeah, so what?
Yeah, they're reading fucking Wikipedia.
Yeah, I mean,
just read Wikipedia. Yeah.
So after Jamie finds out that the kid probably didn't learn the Gabel name at school either, she starts to believe, well, maybe this shit is real, maybe it is a ghost, and then she starts feeling like in the house, like she starts feeling like she's being watched, but she can't figure out if it's just because she's starting to believe that the ghost is real and she's like psyching herself out, or if there really is something in the house. Now, one night, a little bit later, she's talking on the phone to her friend Pam, and she hears noises in the house, like someone's in there. And I'm pretty sure, well, this was another time when, like, the dad, like I said, the dad is always, like, working nights, so he's always gone, which, like I said, is very convenient. That always happens on these shows. Dude's always gone, like, all night.
Before I forget, Shauna does hair.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
We can hire Shauna. She can do it here.
Yeah, that's
Get some
right.
side money.
I just,
Or we'll go to her place something.
Yeah. But, yeah, so she starts hearing noises in the house, and she thinks there's, like, an intruder. She's like, it sounded like heavy footsteps, and she said it sounded like bike chains. Like, somebody had bike chains, and they were kind of, like, whacking them on the floor. So, yeah, it reminded me, like, the sound effect they used in the show, it kind of reminded me of, you know, like in A Christmas Carol, when, you know, Jacob Marley comes and he's dragging all the chains with the weights and shit on him. It kind of reminded me of that kind of noise. That's kind of what it sounded like. But she said it sounded like bike chains. So she goes up and checks, and, like, the kids are asleep, so she has no idea, like, who the fuck is making that noise, and she's like, I think somebody's in the house. And so she's, like, looking all over the house, and she can't see anybody, obviously. Then she calls Aaron, but, of course, you know, he's no help, because he's like, well, are you sure you heard something? I'm like, no, okay, I just made it up. Bye. You know what I mean? It's... The dudes on here are just not helpful. They're not helpful. Like, I know he's at work, and he just doesn't want to hear it, but, you know. So, Jamie, at this point, is still trying to convince herself that she's imagining it. So then another time, like I guess shortly afterward, she's down in the basement, in the creepy basement, because of course you always have to do laundry down in the creepy basement in these houses. You know what I mean? Which is weird. Our house doesn't have a basement, but our laundry room is not creepy. It's just in the front of the house by the garage. Not creepy in the least. So she's down in the creepy basement doing laundry. And she has like a baby monitor down there so she can watch the kids like while they're sleeping. And in the baby monitor, it looks like the nursery, or the kids' room, is on fire. She doesn't see any fire, but she sees, like, a whole bunch of smoke. You know what I mean? And she obviously, like, freaks out, as you would, and runs up there, like, holy shit, like, the kids' room is on fire. And there's nothing up there. No smoke, no smell of fire, no nothing. And she's like, what the fuck was that all about? So she calls Aaron, or she, you know, when Aaron comes home, she's like, look, I saw smoke in the room, like the room was on fire, and then I came up and there was nothing there. And then Aaron said, well, maybe the camera's malfunctioning, like, you know, maybe you just saw it was, you know, an anomaly in the thing. She's like, look, dude, it was smoke, all right? So she's like, anyway, the kids are sleeping in our room because I'm not, you know, I don't trust this shit, you know what I mean? And then, like, while the kids are sleeping in the parents' room, the baby, Lacey, just, like, cries all night. And they said she kept looking scared or, like, looking at something, like something was in there that she was looking at. And they were, like, freaking out. Then, a little while after this, Jamie is sleeping. Aaron's at work again, like, in the middle of the night. And she heard what sounded like a girl laughing or, like, giggling. And she said it sounded like it was in the same room, like 2 or 3 feet away from her. And she said she just laid there and listened to it, like, freaking out for a while. And then finally she got up the nerve to kind of, like, sit up and look. And obviously there was nothing there. Now, on the show, the reenactment, they actually showed, like, a little ghost girl, like, standing there, like, laughing and stuff like that. But she didn't say she saw anybody. She just said she heard a girl laughing only 2 or 3 feet away. And there was nothing there. So when Aaron gets home at, like, dawn or whatever, the mom and the kids are all sleeping in the living room because she just noped right the fuck out of the bedroom, and you can't really blame her, I mean, to be honest. So he decides he's going to sit up with them, too. So he's kind of sitting there in a chair, kind of watching over him and dozing. And then this part was really creepy, too. I really liked this part. He finally hears something, because you know it takes like forever, like until the dude actually, like, and he's like, oh, I guess my wife's not crazy after all. So he started hearing 3 piano notes repeated over and over.
Yeah, creepy shit.
It was super creepy.
And in the episode, it's fucking creepy. It's dark, and he's fucking inside the house, and he's just listening and hearing ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, like an old piano or like a toy piano.
Yeah, it's like a little old toy piano, and he's searching the house trying to figure out where that's coming from, and he can't find it.
And I was even freaked out when when the actor, like, comes on and he's like, I can't figure out where it's coming from. Yeah. Like, the way he said it, like, freaked me out.
And he wakes the wife up. Wasn't she asleep?
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like,
hear
it? And he goes, yeah, I hear it. And he goes, good. You know, I think he says good.
He's like, I can't figure out.
I'm trying to figure it, and I can't figure out where it is. She goes, it sounds like an old piano. And they couldn't find where it was coming from. Ding, ding.
Yeah, and it just kept doing that over and over and over.
Ding. And then
she said it sounded like it was in the next room.
So yeah, and I was like, man, that's like something a poltergeist would do. You know, Mammoth Mountain would do shit like that, but not exactly that. But that's like something it would have done. Kind of creepy. Sounded plausible to me. And then they go to the actual witness, and to me he was credible. Just kind of a good old boy, and he's like, I know y'all don't believe it, but you got to keep an open mind. That's what I heard, you know. And now, I wasn't there. He said it sounded like it was in the next room, but every room you went to, you couldn't find it. I mean, maybe it was far away, outside the house.
Yeah, because on the reenactment, the first thing he did was like go to the door and like look out the door. Like I'm assuming he thought maybe it was coming from outside.
Yeah, but it wasn't evidently. It was coming from inside the house, but he couldn't find where, and they didn't have anything like that in the house, evidently.
She said, the weird thing, she said, we used to have a piano in the house when we first moved in, but they didn't have it anymore.
Yeah, phantom noise. Man.
So
that's not something that your normal civilian would just make up. You'd have to think about that. And I think if you thought about it, you'd come up with something different. It sounded like something that had
like I said, little subtle shit like that is way scarier to me than, you know what I mean?
Weird shit. Because it's easy to sit back and go, yeah, I was there, and all of a sudden I saw it, and it looked like the Grim Reaper in its face, and it like a skull,
and I'm like,
it came at me, and it almost got me. Well, shit, everybody says that shit.
Not scary.
But this shit, man, I never could find out where that piano was. That was like on that other case where he wakes up, he's kind of undergoing possession. He wakes up, he's at his mom's house, and they hear the organ music, and they never could figure out where it was coming from.
Yeah, that's right. See, that creeps me out, too.
Yeah, and the mom goes in, do you have the radio on? He's like, no, I don't know where that's coming from.
He's like, what the fuck is that?
And they get hearing this organ music, and his mom, then they couldn't figure the source, and his mom's like, she thought maybe it was the spirit of her dead mother.
Yeah, or something.
And then I guess it went away. In this, they never really said how long they heard the piano for. It was at least minutes, and they never really said how it ended. Did it fade away or did it just stop?
Yeah, they didn't say.
They didn't say.
They didn't say.
Which I thought I would have asked. How did it end? Did it just fade away off into the distance, or did it just abruptly stop doing it? But they never said. That's the thing about these. You can't question these episodes. And you don't know what was edited out.
Yeah.
Maybe they said other shit and they edited that out because they didn't like what they said. But it might have been important. You know, maybe it was important.
Well, we're interested in all these little details.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, if you're going to say, it's like I woke up and I heard this creepy 3 notes, like, repeating over and over. We want to know, like, all of the ins and outs of that.
Yeah, they might have edited something out because they thought it would make the case incredible. Or, you know, or it might undermine the case. But to somebody who's seen shit like this before, maybe it would have strengthened the case, in my opinion, you know? They're like, oh, we're not going to tell them that. They won't never believe you. You know, that kind of shit. And they're like, wait a minute, hold on, what? What happened? And then maybe you hear their story and you're like, oh, yeah, you're full of shit. You don't know. Yeah. You just don't know what was taken out. And then what was added visually. Because they'll show shit in the scene and they'll show images and shit. Nobody described that. That's just the image that they showed you.
Well, I was going to say, too, that it's like, now, the dude did say, well, while he was, like, hearing the piano thing, he heard the girl giggling, too, because he also heard that. And like I said, so they would put in the reenactment, they showed, like, the ghost of the girl, like, laughing, but nobody said that they saw
the ghost.
The ghost. So nobody said they saw that.
So there's deception.
They heard it, but they didn't say they saw it.
Yeah, so there's deception in these episodes. Maybe it's not malicious deception. It's just...
They're trying to make it...
They're trying to make it spice it up some and show you what they believed that they heard or saw or what was really happening. The little girl ghost. But he didn't...
They're taking it artistically.
He didn't see it.
Right. Yeah, he never said he saw it.
Right.
But he did say he heard it. He heard laughing, like a girl laughing. Yeah, so like I said, he's looking all over the house, runs down to the basement, everything like that. Now, later, I guess Jamie fell back to sleep at some point, and then she woke up again, and then they both heard... I can't really describe this noise, but they didn't really articulate it very well either. The way they did it on the reenactment was it kind of sounded like a bunch of voices like muffled screaming or moaning or something like that.
Oh, later, yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
They just said it was a muffled voice, a muffled sound, but then what they let you hear through the episode didn't sound like anything to me other than some kind of a crescendo, like a storm type of deal. Maybe there were voices in it, I don't know.
It sounded like voices to me, but it kind of sounded like, you know, like in a horror movie where they're trying to be like, oh my god, we opened up Hell's Gate.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of sounded like all the tormented souls down there. Like, it sounded like that, but like a more low-key version of that.
Yeah.
Like a muffled version.
It said it was
kind
muffled.
of sounded like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did say it sounded muffled. But they didn't say exactly
what it
was. They did. I think they did say voices at some point. But, I mean, because I did write that down. But so I think they did say it was muffled voices. But the way that, I mean, it was creepy, like, on the show. But I don't know exactly what they heard.
Yeah.
So Jamie starts doing research to see if, you know, she can find somebody to help them or whatever. But turns out that Aaron actually hears this paranormal expert dude, like, who just wrote a book, and he was, like, talking on a radio show that he was listening to, like, at work or whatever. And according to this expert, I don't think they mentioned who it was, or if they did, I didn't write it down. Basically, one of the things that you were supposed to do, like, to help you get rid of the paranormal activity was you had to just, like, face it, or just, like, face your fear, you know what I mean? So, basically, what Jamie decides to do is that Gabel, the ghost, or whatever, is hanging out with Mason and keeping Mason awake, I guess, because they're like, well, why is this 3-year-old kid, like, still awake? And he's like, Gabel wants to play, you know what I mean? So Mom is basically like, well, I'm going to tell Gabel right now that he needs to get the fuck out, you know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. So she was kind of like dropping her nuts on the ghost, and they thought that would maybe help. And actually, it did help for a little while, because they said after she told Gabel to, like, get the fuck out because Mason had to sleep, and it's like, no, he can't play right now, and you get out of here, or whatever. And then they said after that, the house was actually kind of quiet for the next, 2-3 weeks or whatever. But then, as usual, like, shit comes back. So then she was in the laundry room again in the creepy basement, and she said that she felt somebody stepping on the back of her pant leg, I think is what she said. Like, so, and obviously no one's there. So, like, an invisible person is, like, stepping on the back of her pant leg. And then she, like, turns around like, what the fuck? And then something grabbed the back of her calf. She said she felt like something grabbed her leg. So she, like, wigs the fuck out. Like I said, probably as you would. And calls her husband at work. She said she was hysterical. And he leaves work immediately. Fair play to him. And he basically, as soon as he gets home, he, like, runs down to the basement and just starts yelling at the ghost. And this was actually the scene that they used, like, for the flash forward, because you know how they always do that, like, starting in season 5. So he's just, like, down there yelling, like, show yourselves, and, why don't you come out, and if you want me to believe in you, and blah, blah, blah. So he's, like, yelling at them to come out, but the ghosts are suddenly shy, and they're just like, nope, we're not doing that. Or they think it's funny to just, not come out. So then their friend Pam actually ends up calling some paranormal investigators, like a little 2-person team or whatever. And they say that what they think happened was that probably the ghosts essentially, like, hitchhiked back to the house with them, like, from the cemetery. Because they said, yeah, we used to take the kids to the cemetery and walk around, and then Mason started, like...
Well, shit, that's like the Haunted Mansion with the Doom buggy.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking that. I was thinking
that.
Yeah. With the little ghost, like, sitting on your head and shit like that. That's exactly what I thought of when they said that. I was saying it's just like the Haunted Mansion. You're taking the ghost home with you. But yeah, so they said that's probably what happened. Like, you went there, and some of the ghosts were like, hey, we're latching onto these people, and we're going to go hang out at their house for a little while. Maybe they have some good snacks or whatever. I don't know what kind of snacks ghosts like, though. Booberry, I guess. So they said that so they do, like, they have all the ghost hunting gadgets and whatnot. And they said that there was, like, a really high like, spikes of electromagnetic energy and all of that. So they try to, like, communicate via EVP. So what they did was they didn't do the normal thing where they have just, like, the little regular audio tape recorder and then just like ask questions and shit. They videotaped the whole thing. You know what I mean? But the thing about it, they kind of went a lot into, we're doing this EVP session, but I don't think they came up with any EVPs, did they? Like, they didn't really say anything.
I don't remember mentioning it.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned, like, nobody was on there going, like, or, like, you know, playing piano.
Which kind of led to some credibility.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if it was a fake investigation, they bring in EVP stuff. They're going to say, oh, yeah, we got EVPs. Look at the shit we got.
It's saying all kind of crazy shit out of here. Get out. You know what I mean? But
it's a fucking portal. Portal's open. There's millions of ghosts.
You got all kinds. This place is fucking lousy. With ghosts.
Yeah.
All coming out the portal.
The thing about the portals and the millions of ghosts and families of ghosts is that opens up a fake investigator to make any claims. This particular EVP sounds like something, so we can get it to fit this other ghost. And another one sounds like something else, so we can get that to fit to this other ghost over here, thereby eliminating the need for any kind of cohesive narrative. It's just random ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking just like fucking Grand Central Station in here. It's like Ghost Grand Central Station. That's what
I don't believe in portals.
No, I don't either.
No.
We talked about portals like on the cup because we had a show before where they said, "Oh, your house is
a portal." Yeah, bullshit.
It's a portal in here because we were talking about how all the ghosts are just like hanging out on the other side of the portal, just waiting for somebody to open it. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. They all like pour out. That's just hilarious.
If you've ever had an out of body experience or a near death experience, NDE, which I've had both, and a fucking OBE. When you exteriorize and you end up in that fucking what they call the spirit realm or whatever, it's a wide open empty space. There's nothing over there. Unless you ask to see it. You got to know the address. Then you'll see it. But it's just, if there was a portal, there'd be nothing on the other side. Nothing special.
Yeah, like I said,
they would have to know about the portal.
I'm sure ghosts would have better things to do, just all hang out there waiting for this, like I said, like waiting for the elevator door to open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, from what I saw,
so they can get off.
From what I saw, it's kind of sleepy over there. It's like being underwater in the ocean. Shit swims by, but it's far away. It's like that.
So they're doing this EVP session. Oh, okay. So what it was, they didn't get any EVPs per se, as in, you know, you didn't hear it when you were doing the session, but then later on when you listen to the recording. But they said that when they were doing it, because it was the two paranormal investigators, one of whose name was also Pam. They always had a friend named Pam, so that's confusing. And the other one's name was Ashley. So Pam and Ashley are there, and then Jamie, the mom, is also there. So they're doing it. And they said they felt like a real heavy energy in the room. And then, I don't know if the video was actually glitching out or if they just did that like for the show purposes, because they showed like the video tape like glitching out. But they did say that all of them heard like whispering and giggling. And they said, and we heard that with our ears. It wasn't just like an EVP where you go back and listen to it and hear it then. They said we actually heard it, but I don't know if it recorded. They didn't mention that. So I'm imagining now. They also said that the mirror, I guess they were doing this in the kids' room because that's where the weird shit was happening. They said that they felt like there was a bubble forming on the front of the mirror with like an entity coming out. They didn't say they saw that. They just said that it felt like that, or the psychic was saying it felt like that. So they're like, so the mirror, did they say the mirror was a portal? They did kind of, didn't they?
They were saying that was how through
that's how the ghost was coming through into the world, was because they did say mirrors could be portals or portal-like things. So yeah. So they're like, okay, well the guy's coming through the mirror, so we need to do something about that. So Ashley does a cleansing on the mirror using essentially like lemon water. So I was like, so just regular cleaning of the mirror, or it's just regular shit that you're cleaning the mirror? Will Windex work to keep ghosts from going? If you clean the mirror with Windex, will that keep the ghost from?
I don't know.
Or does it have to be like an organic?
Yeah, it's got to be smudged with
lemon
sage.
Cleaning product. And then that'll keep... Well, that's good because that keeps your mirror clean and it keeps spirits from coming through the portal.
I don't buy any of that shit.
No, I don't either. No. That's why I'm making a joke.
No, the only reason why something like that might work is if you believed it worked, maybe your, what you might, for want of a better word, psychic energy, which I'm not sure if that totally describes it, your psychic energy might force it to be real. Maybe.
Yeah.
But the act itself of putting sage in some shit or some lemon juice, that, no. You might as well just put holy water on it, and that's all notional.
Well,
which would boil down to will.
Yeah.
Willpower.
They kind of skirted around that, I feel like, because I think they never come out and say this outright, really, but they do kind of skirt around the issue of you can use whatever you want as long as you believe that it will work.
Probably true.
You know what I mean?
Right. Kind of like in Salem's Lot when fucking that vampire fucking comes through the window and fucking challenges that priest and have a battle of will. You remember that he puts the fucking cross in front of the fucking, what's his name, Barlow, Mr. Barlow?
Yeah.
And it was like a battle of fucking faith, and the priest didn't have faith, and Barlow fucking tore his shit up, like, because he didn't believe in it.
They did that in Fright Night as well.
Yeah,
the original Fright Night.
Yeah.
Like
actually
the cross wouldn't work unless you actually believed that it would work.
Yeah.
Like if you just held the cross up and you were an atheist or whatever, he'd just be like, you know what I mean? But if you actually believed it,
so it's not so much the cross, it's your will,
right?
Your faith, your
belief. Which that tracks. That's very common in that.
Because now you're fucking like dropping your psychic nuts. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't letting this shit happen. Which that's more plausible. Because it would be a battle of psychic will. The force.
Right.
What they're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter like what.
It doesn't matter what it is. As long as you believe it.
Things that you use. As long as, so we laugh about it being like lemon water and sage and stuff like that, but it could be anything.
Yeah.
As long as you believed in it.
Well, all religions do this shit. Taoists, priests do stuff like exorcisms. Christians, Muslims. I don't know if the Jews do it. They probably do. But it all boils down to the faith in their interpretation of their religion. So, but that would boil down to willpower, and faith. So maybe your psychic force, you know, maybe.
Murder Hornet said, "I love Fright Night." I do too.
Great movie.
I love Fright Night.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite movies of the '80s. One of my favorite horror comedies for sure.
It's hard to top.
I've seen it a million times.
Hard to top those old movies. They were fucking crazy.
Well, a couple years ago for Halloween, I dressed up as Vampire Amy from Fright Night. I still have the red curly wig and everything.
Yeah.
I did like the big mouth and had the white dress and all that. It was super, and I had the contact lenses too. What happened to those? I guess I still got them somewhere. They were yellow. Yeah, so they do the lemon water cleansing on the mirror to keep the ghost from popping through there, because you know how that goes. You don't want ghosts popping through your mirror all the time. And then they also do the sage thing too, just for safety purposes. And we kind of laughed because the whole sage thing, it's like, yeah, you start in the middle of the room and then like you move toward the outside because you're like pushing. Yeah, you're pushing a ghost out. And then he said they be sure to leave a door or window cracked. I said, yeah, so the ghost can go out and go to the neighbor's house. Is that what it is? I don't know why.
Well, what's funny is
that laugh so much.
You have a ghost that can pass through fucking physical objects like walls and stuff, but shit, you better leave a door open.
Leave a door open for him. Like I said, it's all just notional. It's just kind of like, it doesn't make any sense logically when you think about it. Because like you said, a ghost can like pop in and out of existence. They can go through walls. They can do all this other stuff. But then suddenly it's like, oh, they can't get out if you have all the doors and windows closed. Like they're locked in. That's very silly.
An exteriorized person that's having an out-of-body experience can move forward and backwards in time, go back and see the past, can go through physical dimensions and then dimensions that were never physical. So a ghost would be like that. It wouldn't matter if the door was open.
And I always wondered too, it's like they always showed them in movies like going through the walls. I'm like, why don't they ever go through the floor?
Oh, they probably would.
They never show that, though, do they? Because like the ghost is trying to go like that. He's like, oh, shit!
A poltergeist was taking objects from downstairs and moving them upstairs without going through the stairwell. Things appearing inside a closed room. You were in that room, and the door was closed. And things would appear in there, small objects, and they were from downstairs. The door never opened. So they somehow interpenetrated the matter, or they teleported, which that's a violation of physics as we know it. So Physics is not of as we see it. It's an illusion.
They're also talking about Night of the Demons was classic too. Yeah, that's right. That's also
sounds familiar. I think I saw that.
That's
one.
another fucking great.
I think
movie.
I saw that one. Yeah.
And Murder Hornet said Linnea Quigley.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Still hot.
She still looks. I mean, I haven't seen her in a while,
still
but
hot,
she.
Yeah.
She's
Last I saw her, it might have been 10 years ago, but she's still hot.
Yeah.
What's her name is fucking still hot? The one from fucking.
Reanimator.
What's that? Reanimator. What was her name?
Barbara Crampton.
Barbara Crampton. Hot as shit.
She's still in horror movies. She's in lots of stuff.
Yeah. And of course, Cassandra Peterson.
Yep.
That's the hottest old lady ever.
See, all the horror nerds,
Yeah.
they stay hot. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You guys know her as Elvira. She's like 73. She's still smoking hot. Yeah.
She looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I just saw her like a few months ago on the Joe Bob Halloween special.
Yeah.
Like, she did her own special like on Shudder. And I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit, she looks exactly the fucking same.
She's had some work done. I mean,
Well, obviously.
You have to.
Obviously,
But,
but she doesn't look any different.
Hormone therapies and staying in shape and I guess positive attitude and having fun. She was never forgotten like Vampira was. Mayla Nurmi, she was forgotten and she fucking rotted away because they didn't have fucking in Mayla's day they didn't have fucking conventions.
Yeah.
If they had HorrorCon and shit like that, Mayla would have done real well at conventions.
Yeah.
You know, she'd have made a lot of money, got a lot of attention, and kept her spirits up.
I've said before, I kind of feel like the horror fandom is probably one of the best fandoms in the sense that
they remember you.
Man, and if they love you, they fucking love you, and they will just like support every fucking thing you do.
The actress that played Jason's mom in the
Betsy
first
Palmer.
Yeah, in the first Friday the 13th was a fucking well-known, high-caliber actress.
Yeah.
Mainstream, all her mainstream fans forgot about her. Only the fucking horror community remembered her.
Everybody knows who she is. Like, all the horror nerds know who she is.
And she made a living going to conventions as an old lady.
Yeah.
And fucking everybody still loved her. That fucking probably extended her life by a decade, probably. At least.
Like I said,
and she said, I never realized I would be remembered for that movie.
Right. Because I think what she was doing is she didn't want to do it, and she was like, she just thought it was going to be some throwaway piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, who knew that, like, fucking 40, 50 years later.
She's making a living off of that movie, not the other high caliber movies that she made. Those fans were long dead.
I'm telling you, that's what horror fans, and like I said, horror fans are really, and they like old shit too. So it's like, even if you were in movies like way back in the 50s and 60s, they'll still remember you and come see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The dude who didn't turn right, who did not do a right face in the end of A New Hope, he does horror conventions. Do you see the crowd of the fucking rebel soldiers when they turn to face fucking Princess Leia's the formation? One dude doesn't turn.
Yeah.
And that dude actually was selling autographs. I'm that dude. I'm the dude that didn't turn. And people, oh, you're the dude that didn't turn. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
And they all know
$20. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious.
But now the horror scene, they stick by you.
They do. Like I said, it's not like I have a huge amount of experience with other fandoms, but I do kind of feel like horror fandom is less toxic maybe than other fandoms. I'm not saying that there's not like infighting and stuff, because there is, but it doesn't seem as bad. And I don't know, horror fans just seem like they just seem generally like nicer people, which you wouldn't think, because people would be like, oh, you watch all this like fucked up shit. But honestly, like most people I've known that have been super into horror movies are like the nicest people ever.
Yeah.
The nicest people ever. I don't know why that is, but because you get all your bad shit out like just watching horror movies.
Me and Jen, we don't really have guests on the show anymore, but we've considered doing some guests. We can get them. We have enough people where we can get guests. If we would ever have a guest on the show, it'd be Jeffrey Combs.
I want Jeffrey Combs on the show.
And I could probably get either that or Crussell. I could get Crussell.
I wonder if Crussell would be on the show.
Yeah. Probably would.
Let's get him on here in his Santa Claus get it for
here.
like a Christmas special.
Yeah, but I want to get Jeffrey Combs on the show to talk about Shran from fucking Star Trek. I want to talk about Shran from fucking Star Trek Enterprise, and he loves that character. And his fantasy was to make a full-length motion picture based on Shran. And fucking Shran, who was an Andorian fucking captain, a blue dude with the antennas, He was the fucking Andorian Captain Kirk. He would have made a fucking great leading character.
I mean, they should have
for
really made
something
a whole movie
like a
spin-off.
something like the old start, like
I
Captain
mean, I would have
Kirk.
watched it.
But it would be an alien ship with an alien crew doing cool shit. His macho little ass. It'd be fucking cool. I love Shran. Yeah, he was a good character.
I'll watch anything Jeffrey Combs is in.
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs.
He's like, well, I mean, and like I said, a lot of horror fandom are like that too. Like, man, Jeffrey Combs, Bruce Campbell, like anything those motherfuckers are in, yeah, we're gonna watch that.
And
shit.
in Deep Space Nine, Combs did a great fucking Jem Hadar guy. He was a clone. Every time he get killed, he'd come back because they cloned thousands of millions of them. Yeah.
That's what the world needs. More Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah. They had unlimited Jeffrey Combs.
That sounds nice, doesn't it? I like that idea.
And I've watched Combs on other shows. He drinks on the show. He says, "Hold on, I gotta take a leak." Comes back. So he likes
He'd fit right in.
He likes to drink on the show. It'd be just like this.
He'd fit right in. We
yeah,
could have him. We have him on a sidetrack show.
Yeah, have him on a sidetrack.
He sounds like he'd be like a lot.
We're
of fun.
talking about we'll do a Combs show. We have to contact him.
Maybe we should.
And we'll do a Jeffrey Combs special. Have that bitch run 3 or 4 hours as long as he wants to go. Talk about what he wants to talk about. We're talking about Shran.
Tom wants to talk about Shran.
Yeah.
Whether you want to talk about Shran or not.
Yeah.
He likes that character though. Like I said, he likes to talk about.
Yeah,
Shran.
he likes Shran.
But yeah. Okay. So where was I? Okay. So they were doing the sage thing, and then like I said, we laughed about them having a window cracked and stuff like that, so the ghost could get out. They also did this other thing, which I don't think I've seen another haunting episode where they did specifically this. I've seen ones where they did like salt rings and shit like that, because salt is like a big paranormal thing, like to keep ghosts away or whatever. But this one, they said, oh, this is kind of like a southern thing. I'm like, okay, I never heard of it, but whatever, I'm from the south. But where they have like salt, but they flick it. And I'm like, all right. So they're basically just like flicking it. And the thing about it is that what they're trying to do, because she explained it, it's like sympathetic magic essentially. So they're like, the salt is from an outgoing tide. I don't know, like I guess she gathered the salt herself or bought it from somebody that said that it was from, I don't know how you can tell, but whatever. But they said the whole principle of it is that because like an outgoing tide, it's supposed to like, it's like a baptism. It's sort of like pulling away like your sins or the negative energy or whatever. So it's like she was talking about that. So basically they have salt and they're just like kind of flicking it everywhere. So they're kind of covering all the bases, you know what I mean? Although I don't think they didn't call a priest on this one though, which again is unusual. Usually that's one of the avenues that they take, but they didn't do it on this one. So yeah, so they do the salt, they do the sage, they do the lemon, they do all of that stuff. But it doesn't really seem to work. At this point, they're kind of taking pictures around the house, and they notice that there's like this big spike on the EMF meter. And then the 3 pictures, because the lady, the paranormal investigator, she's like, oh, I always take like 3 pictures, like bam, 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 like that, like in sets. And so she's like, this one set that they had where the spike, where the EMF spiked, was, she said the first picture was normal, and then the second picture had like this dark figure, like it was walking across the picture, and then the third picture was normal again. So it was almost like something that like passed through the shit, like right when the spike was. So they thought that was like pretty creepy. So at this point, they're like, okay, well, maybe we need to find out like who these ghosts are. So they go to the graveyard that's right by the house, and they find this tombstone. Now see, okay, I don't know how big this cemetery was. They didn't really say. But they did find a tombstone for a guy named Gabriel Jackson. And they're like, oh, well, maybe this is who the kid is talking about, because he keeps saying Gabel, and maybe he's like a little kid and he can't say Gabriel. I was like, well, I don't know. That's a reach. And another thing, too, is that Gabriel isn't a very uncommon name. So it's like that was the only Gabriel in this cemetery? How big is this cemetery? I find that hard to believe. And I kind of feel like that was kind of like even a more common name back in the time period when this cemetery was from. But this guy, Gabriel Jackson, that was buried in the cemetery had been killed in the Civil War. And so because I don't know, see, that's the thing. I don't know if anybody saw him other than the little kid. So the fact that they showed in the reenactment that he had a Civil War uniform on, I think they only did that because of this. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody said, like the mom or the dad, they said, oh, we saw a dude like in a fucking Civil War uniform, and oh, this is who the guy is. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of stuff that was kind of left out. So they're like, okay, well maybe this is who it is. Well, hi Pookie. What
she's
you
trying to
doing?
get your attention.
She's trying to climb
She's
up.
like,
on
end the show, mommy. We got shit we gotta do. Okay.
Aw.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're like, well, what about this little girl that we've heard like laughing in the house? Like I said, they haven't seen her, I don't think, but they heard her laughing in the house. And then they said they did a little research into the neighborhood. I don't know if this is true or not, but they said supposedly there was a little girl who was the daughter of a slave, and she had drowned like in a lake that used to be on this property, like where the house was or where the cemetery was. Like I said, it was all kind of part of one plantation or one thing. So I don't know if that's true, but they said so maybe that's who the little girl was, like this little drowned girl. So basically, the investigators then tell Jamie, now they've done all this stuff, it's like you just do a prayer to complete the blessing, because obviously the ghosts are still here. And she's like, well, what kind of prayer? And she's like, anything that you actually believe in. It doesn't actually matter like what the prayer is, but as long as you believe in it, then it doesn't matter what it is. So she basically just does the standard, you know, what do you call that fucking I don't know.
I don't know what.
I don't remember what that prayer is called. It has a name, but I can't like think of it.
Lord's Prayer?
Yeah. Okay. That's what it was.
Yea, though I walk through the shadow of the...
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So she starts doing that, and they, you know, like they usually do when they're doing they didn't do an exorcism in this, but whenever they're doing prayers or exorcisms, like when it's the big climax, like they're getting rid of the ghost or whatever, then they'll try to, like, this one they do like flashing lights, and everyone looks their pained expressions, you know what I mean, like, oh shit, like this is so painful, and then like they're doing flashbacks of like all the scary shit that they already showed in the show, and there was that kind of stuff. And then so all that happens, and then like when she's done with the prayer, like it's all like whew, and then she turns to the paranormal investigators and she says, they're gone, aren't they? Like she knew. And I was like, wow, that was easy. So all you needed was some lemon juice and some sage and some prayer and flick some salt, and Bob's your uncle. He just got rid of the shit.
That's a British thing.
Well, I know we have some British people in the crowd, so I thought that they would think that was funny that I said that. But yeah, so basically the paranormal investigators are like, well, you didn't need us, you can stop it yourself, like as long as you believe that you can, like as long as you have faith, and as long as you know, are, she's like, you're the master of your own house, just like basically don't let the ghosts walk all over you, I think was the implication there. So so the guy, you know, the narrator is like, oh, the paranormal nightmare is over. And then after that, like as a little coda, they said they actually talked to some of the neighbors, like people that lived around the neighborhood, and they implied, they didn't really go into this, but they implied maybe that they had some paranormal activity as well because of the proximity of the cemetery. That was the suggestion that they were putting across anyway, that I guess like other people go walk through the cemetery and the ghosts are like, hey, let's follow this one home and fuck with them for a little while. Like what, you know, I guess the ghosts don't have anything better to do. They're just hanging out in the cemetery and they get bored, and you just happen to walk past and they just like latch onto your ass and go to your house and, like I said, raid your fridge and drink your beer. I don't know what ghosts do when they get to your house. Let's see. Goes past through the light. Murder Hornet said, I know a lot of Star Trek fans that would show up for that. Like if we had Jeffrey Combs on.
Yeah. He was also talking about that, what did he say? Some of the fan films are real good.
Yeah.
The best fan material is on YouTube for free. Star Trek Continues. It's the final season to the old original series with Kirk and Spock and everything. And it connects the television series to a Star Trek motion picture.
And it's movie, yeah.
Yeah, and that's real Star Trek. A lot of the guys that were on the original series, the descendants of the people that were on the original series are on it. A lot of the same writing. Erin Gray's in it. Fucking, she shows up. Lou Ferrigno shows up in it. The dude who played fucking that Greek god, he from the original series, he shows up as that Greek god again. Fucking that's real Star Trek. Second part of the Mirror series where fucking Kirk ends up on the Mirror and meets that Spock. Part 2 of that's on it, called That's a great series. They made him stop it. CBS made him stop, even though it complied with fan base shit. But it was so good, they were like, "Nah, this is a real show. You guys can't do that."
Well, they don't. I mean, they let them put it on YouTube, but they can't. They're not allowed to like charge money.
Yeah, they're not. But also, they said that they weren't allowed to make any more.
Yeah.
So, sucks. Because Vic Mignogna was the guy that was behind a lot of that. Todd Habercorn, and who played Spock. They wanted to do a bunch of stuff, a bunch of like movie type things that were to take place in between Star Trek The Motion Picture and Wrath of Khan. They said there's a lot of time there that they could have covered. That'd have been fucking great. That'd have been great. They even did promo shots of them in the Wrath of Khan style uniforms.
Yeah, but it really is a good series.
Really good series, yeah.
Hugo said, "Are you guys planning on reviewing The Pope's Exorcist?" Maybe. I mean, we might get around to it.
You haven't seen it yet.
Like I said, we haven't seen it. There's like a ton of movies that I need to see.
Yeah.
We still need to see... I still want to see Renfield. I want to see Evil Dead Rise. We were just talking to Oscar before the show, and he said, "Oh, we need to see that because it was really
Any
good."
movie we receive on Blu-ray in a physical location here at this place, if you send us a Blu-ray, we will review that movie.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that people send us are always like top priority.
Top priority.
So like the next one that we have to do, because Xanada also sent us The Professional, so that's going to be the next one that we're going to do.
And
like I said, we never. It's weird because we never did a review of Terrifier 2, even though we did watch it.
Yeah.
Because that was actually on.
But we had to move
Amazon Prime.
We had to move DVDs to the front.
Yeah.
And fucking my boy Louis Hernandez fucking sent me the best movies I've seen. All right. And during the move, we kind of lost track. We finally caught up with The Breakfast Club. I think that's the only movie.
I think that's the only one that he'd sent us that we
haven't done.
Yeah.
Louis got fantastic taste in movies. If he sends it to me, I'm like, okay.
Well, he's got you pegged. Like,
he's got me pegged.
Exactly. Better
What's
than
all
me.
this fucking pegging shit going? See, these women always fucking talking about pegging them. But,
hey, that was your dirty mind went to that place.
I'm getting fucking self-conscious about this. I'm starting to complex.
Jenny wants to peg me. Oh,
trying
no.
to fucking complex about
what
it.
If all of you guys like get enough money and like
No, so Jenny's trying to fucking get me fucked in the booty. All right, she's trying to make money on fucking man, stop that shit. She's talking about our StreamMate effort. Man, we shot some porn the other day. I had the fucking camera all fucked up, man. My hair's cut up. The whole thing's useless.
I mean, there might be little bitty clips.
What we can do is we can do some close-up still. Well, the stills were good from it. At the very end of it is good. We can use it for other things. We can use it for fucking promo shots and shit. Everything is progress forward, but man, it's hard to shoot porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to... we're learning, though. It's best if the camera's in hand. You want an action cam.
Well, that's what's. I mean, they always say this, like if you know anything about it, but it's like, oh well, there's nothing like particularly sexy or anything about like shooting porn, and it's like, but they say that, but when you do it, you're just like, oh yeah, I see what they're talking about.
Yeah, you're worried about so many other fucking things. It's the production.
Like it's fun.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's not fun, but it's
not like normal sex.
No. Like there's a million different factors you have to take into consideration. You have to keep stopping in the middle and like moving around and like moving this over here.
Changes like this isn't gonna work with that fucking outfit,
right? And then or
that sex toy isn't working out,
right?
This shit here, so we're constantly. It's like extended foreplay. You're aroused during it, but it's hard for any kind of like. You're not really satisfied.
Well, you can't really like just let go and get into it because you're too worried about like, does this look stupid on camera or is it, you know what I mean?
Am I be wasting my effort with this? I mean, how's the camera angle? It's just, which you think is crazy, you know. I'm actually a trained actor. So's Gramthars if he's on there. We went to fucking acting school together, high school level acting school. But our shit was really good. We had a really good fucking teacher, Marilyn Rice Cub, who's off of 24, big superstar, is my ex-girlfriend. And she came out of that same fucking drama program. I guarantee you she learned more from fucking Julia Salisbury than she learned in university from that. Julia Salisbury, and Gramthars can attest. And he's a cop friend of mine who's going she was a fucking great drama teacher. Great drama teacher. And I was into the method acting and shit.
So you just like acted like
you become an asshole.
Character.
You become.
You just acted like an asshole all the time.
You
so you're still method acting now?
No.
After all of these years,
you become the character. You become that character, and you channel it.
Yeah, I know.
And it takes all the pressure off of you. You know. And
yeah.
I was doing leads, and then later on, after that, you know, when I was going to Brazil, I was doing stuff, doing commercials, and it's the same thing. It takes pressure off of you when you're method acting, because you're not you anymore.
Right.
So
that's why a lot of actors do it. Although, like I said, there's kind of stories about actors that are really into doing that and how difficult they are to work with because
it makes you crazy.
Yeah, because you can't interact with them like a normal person, like when you're not shooting, because they're still acting. They're still in that character.
They're in that mode, which makes me understand Marlon Brando. I got a lot of respect and understanding of Marlon Brando. Marlon was fucking crazy. He was a method actor. And did a lot of fucking drugs, too.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that didn't help.
I'd have gotten along with Marlon.
But see, pretending to be
Marlon would try to kiss me, though. That bitch would try to kiss me. Oh, he'd kiss a motherfucker in a heartbeat. You had to watch him.
Yeah, you had to watch him.
If you liked, he'd kiss you. On the lips.
Was he the one that was... It was Marlon Brando from Last Tango in Paris, right? With the stick of butter up the butt?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was, yeah.
That was him, yeah. So he might try to put a stick of butter up the butt.
You never know. You never can tell. He was trisexual. He'd just try it out on you.
John Gora said some actors kind of lose themselves in the roles, like Mickey Rourke. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Mickey Rourke, that's another movie that you need to see, Thomas. And this is my recommendation. I'm sure other people have recommended it. It's a Darren Aronofsky movie.
Okay, I love Darren.
And it has Mickey Rourke in it. Okay. It's called The Wrestler.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it.
And
Aronofsky, I like him.
Great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, I love Noah. I thought that was a fucking badass science fiction movie. Fucking.
And you still haven't seen Requiem for a Dream.
No, I haven't seen it.
Woo, that's a downer. Yeah. It's a downer.
All right.
The Wrestler's kind of a downer too, I'm not gonna lie. But it's great. Requiem for a Dream is great too. But holy shit. You gotta really be in the mood to watch that.
The other dude is fucking, what's his name? Anthony Hopkins?
Which one? The Welsh actor?
Yeah, the guy who did fucking...
Hannibal Lecter?
Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah.
Fucking,
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a method actor, but I detect that he is a method actor.
Oh, I don't know if he is or not.
I can sense mental illness.
I know some of them are. Like, I know that somebody like Daniel Day-Lewis, I know that he's, like, really well known for, like, method acting.
I respect him, everything I've seen about him. And I remember seeing an interview with him, and he's saying, I hate movies. He says, I hate fucking Hollywood movies. I hate movies. He says, I want to be on the stage in community theater. And I was like, yeah. Because that's kind of where I came from.
A lot of actors prefer
because it's just instant gratification.
Right.
I still kind of get this a little bit through YouTube with the comment section, but it's better if you can see people. You can play off the crowd a lot better, and it feels good. Which is why Mary Lynn went into comics. Being a comedian, because it's instant gratification. You know if you've done well or not. You can read it on the expressions of the crowd. Yeah. Because, I still talk to her. Yeah. She still fucking loves it. But she likes being a comic more than she liked being a television actress.
Well, like I said, shooting TV and movies and stuff like that, to me, it seems like...
artificial.
Well, and it seems like tedious. Yeah. Because you have to, a lot of it's just waiting around. You're waiting around for them to set up the lights and set up the thing and do the makeup. And then when you do it, it's like you have to shoot like the same thing like over and over and over from different angles. And it's like, to do so many takes. And so it's just, I just feel like it would be really tedious. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And knowing how it works, it's just kind of like, I'm amazed that any movies or TV come out good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Kind of dry. But the fact that so many of them come out good, I'm like, that's amazing to me. Zach asked if you had seen Black Swan. Did you see Black Swan?
Yeah, that was the one with, what's her name, the little girl. I call her a little girl. She's one of the professional.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it.
I really liked Black Swan. I have it.
I remember
on DVD somewhere.
we have it. On Blu-ray. No, DVD.
Yeah. I bought it on DVD. It was like in the bargain bin, so I picked it up.
I remember it being okay, but it didn't make a big impression on me. I don't remember anything about it.
I really liked it. I've seen it a couple times. I really liked it.
Although she's done good shit and bad shit. Some of it's just kind of whatever.
She was in Annihilation, wasn't she?
V for Vendetta. Thought she was great in that. I actually liked her in the Star Wars prequels as Princess Amidala. She was great in The Professional.
She had a thankless role in that movie, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Although I tell you what, the prequels aged well compared to some of the new fucking shit that came out. It's confusing.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree.
I don't know, man. The fucking.
I liked him even less, like when I watched them again recently.
I gotta admit, I liked Force Awakens. I thought that was going to be something decent. The second one, no, fuck no. And then that very third one, what was it called? It tried to fucking make up for the disappointment of the second one, but it was just a jumbled, confused mess. Even though I liked some of the shit that was in it. But it was just, I don't know. No. New Star Wars fucking sucks. The Mandalorian was great. Fucking first and second season. I heard the season 3 evidently blows. But first and second season of The Mandalorian is supposed to be really good. Or not supposed to be. Was really good. The third is supposed to not be very good. But I'll kind of reserve judgment until I see it myself. Although I'm not going to fucking pay Disney for it. Somebody's going to send me a fucking Blu-ray.
John Robertson said, "Hey guys, just became a patron for you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hope it can help you guys out." Oh, it will. Don't worry about that.
We're not going to end the show. We're just opening up other branches to other stuff. It'll all cross promote.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't really ever want to stop doing the show.
No, we like the show.
I mean, I have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
I wish we could do more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could do more movie reviews per week, because we used to do a lot of movie reviews.
I got to get Jenny back in the house. She working remotely and everything. Yeah, the money's good, but we can do that. I'm hoping we can do that from here, and that way we have more time to create our own content. I feel like I'm pimping her out to these motherfucking dudes. She's drawing playgrounds for companies and fucking all kinds of whatever the kind of tacky shit are you doing?
It's not tacky.
It's tacky. Playgrounds and parks and
Pool
shit. It's corporate stuff.
Yeah,
and that's just not her. Let me go to the restroom.
Yeah, he said, Jen, Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Oh, good one. That's a good
is
one.
my favorite Vincent Price movie. Did we review that? We watched it when Sophie was here. Not this last time, but the time before, because that is also her favorite Vincent Price movie, as it happens. So, but I don't remember if we reviewed it. Maybe we haven't. I wanted to do, if we did a review of it, I wanted to do like a double feature, and like I wanted to do, the first one and the second one. I think I don't know, my favorite Vincent Price movie is probably, God, he was in so many good ones. I really, really love, and maybe this is lame, but I really do love the Roger Corman Poe movies, and particularly Mask of the Red Death. I think that's probably my favorite. I mean, that's like my favorite Poe story too, and I really like the way they visualized it, and he was fucking great in that. But I also have a soft spot for House on Haunted Hill. I really like Vincent Price in that, and I've seen that a million times too, and I've also seen like the Rip Tracks version and stuff. John Gore said you could put some gravestones, bats, and skeletons in the playgrounds. I could. Zach says I rewatched the first season of True Detective the other day, and it's still so good. Holy shit. Yeah, I would actually like to give that a rewatch. We watched it not too long ago, but yeah, John Robertson said The Raven was good too, of the Corman movies. Yeah, I really, really like that whole Poe cycle. Like, they were all good. Sebastian says The Fly. Yeah, that's right, like the original one. I don't think we've done The Raven either. We did Mask of the Red Death, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think of like the Poe Corman movies that we did. I know we did Mask of the Red Death.
Yeah.
Did we do Pit and the Pendulum? I don't think we did Pit and the Pendulum.
Now, as I was leaving to go to the restroom, we were talking about Phibes. I liked Phibes. That was kind of like a British fucking psychedelic hippie, drugged out fucking horror, comedy, fantasy. That was a great fucking movie. I liked it. I liked how they did that. I want to see that one again.
Like I said, I don't think we ever did a formal review on it. I remember watching it when Sophie was here. Remember? Because Sophie wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
Because that's like her favorite.
Yeah, it was just this fucking diabolical serial killer kind of, in some ways, kind of like, shit, who was the fucking serial killer lived down, almost kind of like fucking the Phantom of the Opera kind of character.
Yeah.
And, he's hip and 60s, but also kind of gothed out. And he's killing people in all these fucking inventive ways. And then he's got a lair and a plan. What was the plan with the sarcophagus? He was going to get in that and kill himself. Is that what it was?
Something like that.
I had to see it again. Been a while.
I think it was a couple years ago.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
And John Gore said Tomb of Lygia is my favorite. I actually wanted to do a review of Tomb of Lygia because that was just, it was on Shudder or it was on Tubi or something like that. And I just saw it like a few weeks ago, like scrolling through, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, we should probably do that one too. Yeah, John Robertson said, my friend finally watched Dr. Phibes, and he was like, what the fuck did I watch?
It's just some fucking weird shit.
I think the most recent Vincent Price movie that I reviewed, like you didn't review it with me because you didn't watch it, but I reviewed the anthology movie Twice Told Tales, which was like adaptations of like Nathaniel Hawthorne stories. So I think that was the last Vincent Price one that I did. Because I've done a few on my channel, well, it's on this channel, but...
Vibes kind of reminded me of that damn rock opera.
That's what, it always like reminds me of that.
What was the name of that rock opera where it was kind of like Phantom of the Opera, but it was fucking...
Phantom of the Paradise.
Phantom of the Paradise. It kind of reminded me of that. Which is a good... I want to see that again. That had good music and everything.
I really like that.
Original songs, but they sounded like rock songs from the 70s. But yeah.
And it had like, what's her name? Like Jessica Harper? Is that her name? From Suspiria? The original Suspiria.
We're going to have to hit the musical again. So do Phantom of the Paradise, fucking Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band.
Now see, we've reviewed Phantom of the Paradise. Yeah. But we haven't done Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
We're going to have to fucking review
We're going to have to probably do that one because it's a terrible movie, like, objectively, but I still love it. I still love it. I'm sorry.
It's a guilty pleasure.
And I'm not guilty about it. I'm telling you right now. I know it's terrible.
It's the Bee Gees and fucking Aerosmith and fucking Alice Cooper doing
Beatles songs.
Beatles covers.
But doing like a whole weird...
But doing a
like narrative about it.
Like a fucking Beatles-style narrative about Mr. Mustard and all kinds of weird shit and fucking Come Back and fucking all that kind of... And it kind of makes sense, but it's like a long music video of Beatles covers by 70s hit greatest artists. Yeah. It's good.
Like I said, I love it.
It's tacky. And it's kind
of is, but that's tacky, what I like about it.
And it's low production value, but when you're drinking, you just fucking love it. Because, like, it's starring the Bee Gees. They sing fucking half the songs at least.
Well, yeah, because they're, like, the main characters.
Yeah.
Peter Frampton's in it, too.
Yeah, that's right. Peter Frampton.
It's Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
They are actually the titular Lonely Hearts Club band.
Yeah.
Is who they are.
And like I say, it's good. Kind of like Xanadu. I liked Xanadu.
We reviewed Xanadu?
I have Xanadu. A fan sent us Xanadu for review.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Yeah, it's a good musical.
Yeah,
Olivia Newton-John.
It's super fun. I still love that that Magic song.
Yeah, and it's good. It's about a Greek goddess, a muse, come to Earth to fucking help fucking dudes become creative and shit. And she did this shit over generations. It's a good story.
Zach says, despite being a recent Bee Gees convert, I'm still scared to watch Sgt. Pepper. I don't know why.
No, see Sgt. Pepper's, dude. Get loaded and watch Sgt. Pepper's. You'll love it.
I mean, maybe you'll love it.
It's gay as shit.
I love it.
It is gay as shit. You'll love it.
It's bad, but I love it.
Yeah, it's gay as shit.
It's bad and like a really
so gay it's almost drag. Okay, it's almost drag.
I don't know if I'd go. Well, maybe.
Oh yeah, fucking you kidding? Drag queens would love.
George Burns is in it too. Did I forget to mention? And Steve Martin's in it too.
Yeah.
Steve Martin is Maxwell as in Silverhammer.
Yeah. He's in it. Steve Martin's in it. Me and Jen used to hang fucking at a drag club where they'd have a goth night there. It was called fucking Southern Nights here in Florida.
I think it's still open.
It's still there, but they don't have the goth night there anymore.
No.
And it was the place was decked out. It was like paradise. All right.
That was a cool place.
Yeah, me and Zach would have been up that bitch fucking singing Gavin Friday songs and shit. And it had a theater in it and everything. Fucking
a little stage
with colored lights and shit. And part of it was inside and outside.
Had a nice patio outside too. It was it was nice.
And it
didn't look like hardly anything from the outside, but the inside was fabulous.
Yeah. Normally it was drag. All right. Oh, they would have played the fuck out of fucking Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club fucking band. You could have had a Sgt. Pepper's themed night, and them drag queens would have showed up too. You could have done it. They would have showed up with that shit.
Man, they should do a whole.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
They should do that. They should do like a whole.
Because they were doing 70s
there's so
disco
many
anyway.
There's so many costumes you could do
Yeah.
from that movie.
Yeah.
Like you could be one of the weird robots with like the weird
Yeah.
like the hair that they had that was kind of like a scouring pad.
Yeah, that was the. They were kind of like black female Cylons. Remember the Cylons
Yeah.
from Battlestar Galactica?
Right.
And they had the fucking. Their hair were wires.
Yeah.
And they were gloss black and their eyes lit up and shit. And they were fucking Mr. Mustard's fucking girls that helped him run his fucking hot dog fucking vehicle. Remember that? Wasn't it a vehicle that was shaped like a hot dog?
I don't think it was shaped like a hot dog.
With mustard on it?
I thought it was like a bus.
Like a bus, yeah. A
Yeah.
bus shaped like a hot dog with mustard on it. I think that's how I remembered it.
I haven't seen it in a while.
And he had
I thought
two,
it was just a regular yellow.
They were like
bus.
two female C-3PO androids.
Yeah.
They could sing. They were good characters.
See, it's pretty trippy. I mean,
It's trippy.
We're not
It's
making it up. This stuff does actually.
You just got to see it to understand. And then they had Alice Cooper doing the brainwashing
Yeah.
on all the. You just got to see this shit to understand
Yeah,
it because
Alice
it
Cooper
does
was
not make
brainwashing
sense
people.
outside the context of that movie. But in the context of the movie, Sgt. Pepper's.
Well, they
makes
just
sense.
cobbled together like a bunch of Beatles songs, which,
Yeah,
like I said,
to make a narrative.
which they wrote tripping balls.
Yeah.
So then they like tried to make it into like a plot,
Yeah.
and you can imagine how that went.
It went well, if you ask me.
Well, yeah, like I said,
Because it was very entertaining.
I really like that movie. I saw it a zillion times, bro, because they used
Yeah.
to show it on HBO, like
Yeah.
when I was a kid,
Yeah.
like all the time,
Yeah.
all the time.
We never talking about. I was talking about sex robots shouldn't look like real people. That's uncanny valley. It's
Right.
like- I was thinking they should look more like Mr. Mustard's fucking robots.
Yeah, see, I could get behind.
Because
It.
they were kind of sexy, but they didn't look like real people.
But they didn't look like a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Well, like I said, we were talking about the same thing when we were talking about the dildos. I said I don't really want like a realistic
one.
looking dildo. Like you said,
Yeah.
it was kind of like some Jeffrey Dahmer shit.
Yeah.
Like you got like
fucking full of dicks underneath the head.
disembodied fucking body parts hanging around your house that look real. It's
It
like
should look
that's-
stylized.
That's a little unnerving,
Yeah.
sure.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, that's stream mate performances and fucking video stuff that we've been doing on the sites. I don't know if you're new to the show or not, but we're not talking about. Yeah, I want a dildo. It's for business purposes. It's props. They're for props for certain videos. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bunch of like crazy
spent a-
looking ones.
Motherfucker, I'm looking at my fucking Amazon, and I spent over $100 in dildos. And I was like, man, these motherfuckers are looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. They're not for me.
You're gonna start getting.
I'm gonna start getting all kinds of fucking weird.
You're gonna
shit.
start getting all kind of weird shit now. I still want that tentacle one, but
Okay.
we'll get that one.
Next
eventually.
payday.
We'll
Got a
get
lot
that
of
one
shit
eventually.
we gotta pay for, and we gotta get another camera.
That's true.
That's $170.
John Gora said the Magic Christian is a trip with Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr. I remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember liking that.
There was a movie fucking Sellers made that I loved when I was a kid. I want to see it again. It was called, I think it's called Return of the Pink Panther.
Oh, right.
Yeah, where he plays fucking Dr. Fu Manchu. No, the Fiendish Plot of Dr. Fu Manchu. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Where he plays Fu Manchu. I'm not even sure that movie might be banned now because he's playing a Chinese character. I don't fucking know.
You can still get all those.
You can probably still get it.
Yeah, I've seen like.
But all the Pink Panther movies were great, and so was Being There. I fucking loved it. I want to get that one.
That's another one we need to review
We need to
because
review
I
Being
fucking
There.
love that movie.
Yeah.
I just saw. I think it was on HBO Max, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, it's on HBO Max. We should totally review it. But then like we watched something else, and we didn't
Right.
get around to it. I don't know if it's on there anymore.
Yeah.
John Robertson said, I want the ghosts of Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and Vincent Price to read me bedtime stories around my bed at night. How fucking awesome would that be?
I saw an interview with Christopher Lee, and it turns out, I didn't know this, Ian Fleming, who wrote 007, was his cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I think we mentioned that. We did a show about Peter Cushing and Christopher
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that on there. If I didn't, I meant to. Like,
Yeah.
it was in my notes for sure.
Yeah, and fucking Christopher Lee was saying, yeah, the stuff he was talking about was Spectre and things that he'd written about in his other books. He was saying it was about these oligarchs that were meeting up in a hotel here in Europe. I was like, fuck. So Spectre is the Bilderbergers. That's who he was talking about. Wild shit. It's true.
John Gora said, "I still got to watch Hercules in New York with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Arnold Stagg."
Yeah.
I think they dubbed Arnie though.
Yeah,
they did.
I remember, or vaguely remember it as a kid seeing it and was disappointed with it. Kind of like I went out and spent good money to get Raw Deal because as a kid I remember liking it, the movie Raw Deal. It sucks. It's terrible. Remember the Arnie movie?
I barely remember it. I saw it on cable back.
Jim
in the day.
Belushi and
that's
Arnold.
right.
It's a cop movie and it's terrible.
Right. I remember.
It's called Raw. No, it's called Red Heat.
Oh.
Red Heat. And then I saw Raw Deal too. He did that one, and that one also sucked. He played a cop in it.
So they both sucked.
They both sucked. Red Heat and Raw Deal sucked. But then Terminator came out and Predator, and that changed Arnold's fucking career. Conan, of course, fucking great. Although, when you hear Arnie said he had a schedule of all these movies he had to make, he got hired simultaneously for like 9 movies, and he didn't know which ones were good ones or which ones were bad ones. He just did them all. And some of them were fucking hits. Other ones were just kind of forgotten. Red Heat and Raw Deal were forgotten. But I got them. They're classics. And fucking... I'm a big fan of fucking Total Recall. And what was the other one? Running Man. I liked Running Man. Even though they cut all the violence out of it. But I liked Running Man too. Classic shit. The last of the great Arnold Schwarzenegger retro movies was, I think it's called like, shit, what was the name of that? The Fifth Day or Sixth Day. About the genetic engineering. It's good. Yeah. I like it. It had the dude who played Merle. What was his name? Merle from Walking Dead. What was that guy's name? He also was like fucking Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yeah.
He's in it. What was that guy's name? He's from Mississippi.
Well, I can't remember now.
Fuck. You guys don't remember. So I recommend Sixth Day if you like classic Arnold. That was the last Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
What about Maggie? We liked that.
No. That's a good movie, but that's not an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, really. That's not a classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
No, that's true. It's not an action movie.
No, and the last classic one was The Sixth Day, and I liked it.
All right, so it's getting late. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, let's shut it down.
It's like 9:15.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this discussion that started out about a haunting, but always like goes into other things. Like
John said Eraser's okay. Yeah, Eraser was okay. A lot better than what was that? Collateral Damage. Collateral Damage fucking sucked. Eraser was a little bit better, but not as good as fucking what was it? True
Lies?
No, True Lies. True Lies was a lot better.
What was the one where he was fighting the devil?
Yeah, fucking I got that one too. Last End of Days.
That one was awful.
I thought it was terrible.
Although Gabriel Byrne rocked in it. But Gabriel Byrne is always good in everything. That was really the only... I think I saw that in the theater, and I was just like, man, this is terrible.
Sebastian says, I think it was another... Sixth Day was another fucking...
Philip K. Dick.
Yeah. And I think that's his best one in terms of the late Arnold movies. Now, Maggie was a good zombie movie based on acting. Also, the one with the what was the fucking airplane crash?
Yeah.
That was pretty good too. But that's just Arnold showing that he can act now.
Yeah.
But those were not classic Arnold Schwarzenegger style action movies.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna wrap it up so I can get to bed. So I can get up early in the morning like I usually do. So thanks everybody for dropping by. Thanks for your super chats and thanks for our new patron John. That's really, really awesome. So we are going to be back on Wednesday night for our big show live stream. And the topic this week is going to be good old Brenda Spencer, one of the very few female mass shooters. This is known as the Cleveland school shooting or the I Don't Like Mondays shooting. The Boomtown Rats wrote a song about it. Happened back in the 70s. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday night's show. So that should be really interesting. So hopefully you guys can drop by for that. So, have a good rest of your evening, you guys, and a good day tomorrow. And we'll see you again on Wednesday night. Good night.